Is the Electoral College necessary? Firstly, what is the Electoral College? The Electoral College is a way that Americans go ahead and vote for their president instead of using popular vote to go ahead and vote for the president, like how other countries go ahead and do it. They use something called Electoral College. Now, the Electoral College itself is really just another system of voting. It's essentially where a bunch of representatives go ahead, represent their own state, and use their own representative votes to go ahead and vote for a president. And when you go ahead and vote for a president, you are telling your representative, your state representative, to tell them, well, what exactly you want them to be voting for. As a result, most of these people will really take these people's suggestions in mind and use them in their own little ceremonies too to get more electoral college points. Now, obviously, there are some loopholes to this. You can always get less. You can always lose the popular vote, but you can win the electoral college vote too. Now, there have been 5 instances before 2015 where the control over all this was finally defined. But enough context. Let's get started with. One more thing to mention, Electoral College was created by the Founding Fathers of America. Now, the first point of the pros team is that it's what the Founding Fathers wanted. Whatever the Founding Fathers wanted, they would get, because back then, well, news didn't travel the same as the speed of light. As a result, you really need a system to go ahead and have educated voters. Unfortunately, the people who were voting were not so educated. As a result, he sent them into some sort of training camp, and which gave them basic knowledge of certain subjects, just enough to teach someone or something. In short, it's what the Founding Fathers wanted, so we should keep it that way. And now it's time for the first point of the cons team. They state that a lot of things have changed since the times of the Founding Fathers. The Founding Fathers might have seen this electoral college thing as relevant because news didn't travel at the speed of optic light cables, but instead they went ahead and came by mail. And even through the Pony Express, it still took a few days. Many things have changed since the Founding Fathers' time. As a result, the Electoral College should go change with it. Now it's time for the second point of the pros team. This is this. It's supposed to be fair so that the right person for the job is elected. As a result, if you get the right person for the job, you will be able to go ahead and make sure that our country, your country more specifically, will be able to go ahead and live long into the future, to survive and thrive in all those 50 and potentially 51 states in the entire world. And now it's time for the second point of the cons team. This is where the Electoral College really does come into play a lot. Electors will go ahead and vote for their political party's candidate instead of like someone which has an educated guess. In the end, though, that's exactly what happens to most people. Republicans always vote for Republicans. Democrats always vote for Democrats. Almost never going ahead and voting for the other candidates of the other party. Now it's time for the third point of the pros team. They say that without this, candidates would spend too much time campaigning in cities and in small communities. With this electoral college thingy, they really go ahead and care about other people, and they go into those major neighborhoods, like giant neighborhoods, and do not ignore the small poverties, but they don't ignore the big cities as well. They go ahead and make promises to everyone. Now it's time for the third point of the team. This is where, like, with it, candidates spend too much time campaigning in swing states, which are these little green area states here, and they would ignore the rest of the states. Without this electoral college, that would literally happen. No one like thinking any of these states are serious and then going ahead and withdrawing from them. And now it's time for the fourth and final point of the pros team, and this is where, like, it's possible, like, it's make sure that there's a clear winner. If you use electoral college, you're sure that there will be a clear winner, no matter who it is, even if you do need to recount it. And now it's time for the fourth point of the cons team, and this goes ahead and tells us that it's possible for a candidate to lose the popularity vote but win the electoral vote, like the electoral vote. If you lose the popular vote, you have the electoral vote, and cross your fingers that you win the electoral vote by like several percentages. But that's all I have for today. Is the electoral college necessary? Nowadays, though, it is quite outdated. It is a quite American tradition, but it is quite outdated. Is the American, like, an electoral college necessary? That's for you to decide. Americans think yes. But until then, I'll have to go. China, peace. Bye-bye.